What's going on? It's another interview with Zertz. My guest today, Healthcare.gov, a fellow member of the, is it Gang Gong or Gong Gang? I can never remember.
Gong Gang podcast.
Sundays, Prince of Wales.
Usually.
Unless it was last week. Or was that the week before?
It was last week. That's the one where I was hosting the Gang podcast.
I have hosted it once myself, so that's something we have in common.
Guess so.
Um,
Anyways, should I just introduce myself or what?
yeah, what do you do? Who are you? And where did you come from?
I'm Healthcare.gov. On Discord, it is Ultra not Meme Lord. I don't change it because I'm known as that somewhere else. I do funny Angra gaming content, kinda, and I am focusing mainly more on my music as a form of content creation moving forward.
Good.
Yeah, you wouldn't see it on my Twitter because I don't post videos of myself on Twitter, but soon enough I'll
He's not very
start
active on Twitter.
yeah.
Sorry.
Soon enough I'll start posting stuff on YouTube, so I don't know, maybe look out for that. And I've already done stuff in and around my community, so if you know, you know. Now you know. But yeah, that's me.
All right. So I don't have any questions planned. It's whatever's off my head. That's what's fun about me interviewing you.
Zertz off the dome. Let's go.
Off the dome with Zertz? Nah. Okay. So I've asked you where have you come from? What do you do? Okay. What got you in? Cause you're in a fake go, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So why do you like it? How do you understand any of it? I have so many questions about that itself.
The first thing about me was that got me into Fate Go in the first place was the fact that I was already big into Fate in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
I'd read the visual novel, and I was slowly making my way through Type Moon stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And this came around about this time last year, right? The pandemic was still in the opening months, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was stuck inside with nothing else to do. I had no motivation to write anything. Music, it was just me chugging along as usual. And I wasn't as good a guitarist back then as I am now.
Hey yo, you're gonna teach me to play guitar in 4K? Let's
Maybe,
go.
maybe, let's go. Yeah, it's just I'm into Fate, and I really enjoy like Nasuverse stuff in general. So I figured Fate Go is free. It's probably hear the story gets pretty great later on, so I just sort of jumped into it. I had some basic knowledge of the Nasuverse prior,
Mm-hmm.
and I just sort of stuck with it. And here I am 1 year later, and we're still going strong. So
And you're one of the main people that talks on the Fate Grand Order part of the podcast, right?
yeah. At this point, I don't know if it's official or unofficial or not, but I
How so?
guess I co-run the FGO segment with Mazda.
Yeah.
Mazda does the JP portion, I do NA.
Yeah, it's either you or Prince. So
Yeah.
and most of the time,
But
Prince does the questions. So
yeah, Prince jumps in and out of segments, but really in terms of like FGO stuff, that's where Mazda and I are most relevant. So
because you guys
that's just sort
only
of happening.
play Fate Grand Order, right?
I tried getting into Grand Blue, and the thing is, I'm still trying to get into Grand Blue, but I reset my browser cookies because I was just because RAM and all that, and I got locked out of my account, which sucks because I had Parzival and Zoe, and my light grid was all set up to be the best in the game, at least for like pre-rank 100. But I got locked out of my account, still trying to get it back. So that's sort of how things ended up,
Nice,
which sucks.
Yeah, that does suck.
Yeah, I'm thinking about getting into Arknights actually. But
Hype about the run that was like last year, I believe, right? Yeah, maybe a year and a half ago. I don't know. I just don't understand anything about Fate. I don't get why people like it personally. It seems cool. There's just too many fucking timelines.
It's sprawling and stuff, right? I mean, for some reason, I'm always drawn to series with massive sprawling timelines. The first one for me actually was. Are you familiar with the Tuaruf series?
No, but someone just shot a
Tuaruf
firework off in my background, so.
Yeah. Well, a certain magical index. a certain scientific railgun, certain scientific accelerator, dark matter, etc. It's a super massive light novel series, multimedia franchise over in Japan, but it's kind of niche everywhere else.
Mm.
I wouldn't say it's super duper niche because Gigik did a video on it, which sort of boosted their community, which I'm really grateful for, to be honest.
Yeah.
But that was the first thing I sort of fell in love with. And then after that, it was Fate. And then most recently, it's been Gundam.
Mm.
So,
Isn't that like the
yeah.
giant mechs?
Yeah.
Good.
It was like the quintessential giant robot series. And, I mean, not quintessential, but it's probably one of the biggest ones, right?
It's
Especially for Mecha series still going. Sorry, go ahead.
I think like when you think mechs, you think like super Seton, whatever the like the original quote unquote Power Rangers was. I don't remember the name.
Like a Super Sentai. I think
Yeah, Super Sentai, Yvonne, uh, Code Geass, and Gundam. Those are like the five or whatever many I listed off things you think of when you think of mechs.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, like, that's usually what people think of, right? Like they think of these super campy Japanese people screaming in the cockpits and like yelling in pain whenever they get hit, like I'm going to defeat you with the power of my stand esque speeches, right?
Yeah.
Like super over the top stuff, and in some cases they're wrong, but there's a lot more depth to a lot of these series than it's actually let on. So that's sort of what made me fall in love with Gundam, because like some of the like more often than not, like there are going to be some super absurd stuff, and just like series like JoJo's, it's played completely straight, and that's like the best part of it, right? Because when you boil it down, it's a bunch of emotional, angsty characters piloting giant death robots and beating the snot out of each other, right?
Right.
That on its own is ridiculous. But it's the fact that A, they have enough balls to just play it straight like that, and two, there's enough room in this package to fit in some real hard hitting moments and undertones. It's really quite special. So yeah, that's my thing about Gundam, anyways.
Understandable, because like if you are able to have those moments, it makes the series so much more enjoyable compared to this happened with no like super important impact, right?
Like it's one thing to have A plus B equals C, right? But you have to understand how you get to C, and that's where the real fun, the magic happens.
Yep. Let's see. Any animes you've been watching recently? Any new animes from the new season?
I haven't really been catching up on seasonals. I haven't watched anything this season just yet, but I do have some on my hit list. First one is 86 because I hear it's a pretty fantastic military series.
No clue what that means.
It's a mecha, right?
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, but it looks pretty interesting, and a lot of my friends have said the light novel is fantastic. So they're telling me to hop on the 86 bandwagon before it fully takes off into mainstream. So I'm probably gonna get around to that. There is a new quadruple S series, SSSS Gridman was the big one previously. So they're releasing a new one. I don't know what it's called, but all I know is it's in the same
genre,
quote unquote universe.
Yeah, okay.
By the same people, basically.
All right.
I think it was Studio Trigger. I don't want to say anything. Trigger, yeah. I mean, Trigger does do a lot of mecha stuff. They were the ones who did Promare not too long ago, which was a feature length movie. And before that, it was Darling in the Franxx, which everybody.
Sorry.
So, in terms of seasonals, that's basically all I'm going for. I know like people are going batshit insane over Nagatoro and whatnot. So
I got over it after episode 1. I'm still watching it, but like it's not as impactful.
I never read the manga, so I don't really have much engagement with it other than memes.
Yeah, no, I like read like 30 chapters of the manga, and then I just forgot about it. Yeah. And then I heard it was getting an anime announcement, and like this one guy on Twitter just annoys the fuck out of me with he had like Nagatoro profile picture was for like every day. Then he changed it up.
Goddamn.
True. Any games, console games or mobile games that you're looking forward to coming up in the next year or anytime soon?
Coming up in like, and if we're talking far flung future,
Mm-hmm.
Titanfall 3. If and when Respawn comes out with any announcement for that, I'll have my eyes to the sky and ears to the floor for that. Same with Elder Scrolls 6 and whatever that new Bethesda game about space is.
Mm.
I can't remember, it's like Starbound or something, but I know Starbound is already the name of another game, so
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't want to say about that.
Whatever
But
the game may be called.
yeah, yeah, those Bethesda titles and Titanfall 3 because I am a massive Titanfall junkie.
Mm-hmm.
As for games I'm playing like right now,
Yeah.
I'm playing the shit out of Titanfall 2 again because I got Xbox Gold again. So,
Winning?
huh?
I said winning. Sorry.
I am winning. I'm popping off more than ever.
Thriving.
Yeah, so being able to play Titanfall 2 again is just absolutely fantastic. It's my favorite game of all time. I love it. I've also been playing a lot of Apex too.
That's crossplay, right?
Yeah, that has crossplay. So
Yeah.
I've been playing with my friends a lot.
If you're down,
Sort of winning.
if you're down, maybe one time we can play.
Oh yeah. Oh hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, I've never
Yeah.
played an actual game of Apex in my life, so.
No. It's pretty fantastic. Once you get the hang of the movement and the mechanics and the tacticals,
Yep.
there's a lot of nuance there, and it's pretty fantastic.
Okay, good to know.
Also, shout out to Derek and Kukiko for helping me win my first game of Season 9 a couple nights ago. That was pretty fantastic.
Yeah, sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Any new or old songs that you strongly stand by, as can describe you as a person?
Songs that describe me as a person. Well, if I'm talking just from like not describing me, but like just songs I hold in the highest esteem.
Yeah.
Like December 19th 1963, I think December 1963 by Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. That's probably one of the best songs ever written. Bodies by Car Seat Headrests. Indie anthem, absolutely fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Absolute banger. That's what it is. That's the term I'm looking for. Not necessarily older, but I'd say one that carries a lot of weight for me is California Kids by Weezer. Anybody who knows me in real life, or anybody that's known me for very long, knows that I'm a massive Weezer fan.
Mm-hmm.
Weezer is my favorite band.
Yep.
California Kids is my favorite song from them. It has the perfect atmosphere, perfect air around it, just super fun, super happy, and it means a lot to me since it's gotten me through some hard stuff in the past. If I had to reach for another one, probably Animal Spirits by Wolfpack. It's a fun, pretty carefree funk song.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess we'll go for top five then.
Yeah.
Coming in at number 5 would be Kids by Pup.
Nice, dude.
Pup is another band that's very near and dear to me.
Yeah, man. I've only heard like one of those songs you listed off. So,
Yeah.
if you want to DM me those later,
Yeah, sure.
Listen.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No. What? You can go.
Let's see. I guess the first time I really got like understanding of what kind of music you liked was, I think the one Twitter thread we had of just listing lyrics off from memory of "I Miss You" by Blink-182.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I had a massive Blink phase, and yeah.
I can't listen.
Where are you? And I'm so sorry. Yeah.
DMCA incoming, baby. Let's go.
Oh boy, it's over.
Fun. It's but no, I like Blink. Their older stuff. Skiba, good person. I'm sure. He just doesn't fit in my hole for Tom DeLonge. That sounds so horrendously wrong. But he just doesn't, in my opinion. Like I get Tom busy with Angels and Airwaves. And like
Yeah.
people are shitting on him because his vocal cords aren't like what they used to be. He never knew how to sing properly, so they're fucked. And at the same time, he's also became more mature. His balls dropped further.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like sure, his guitar playing sloppy, but it's always been sloppy because
Yeah.
like they literally. So here's the thing: Blink when they play live, they play at like 100 times speed compared to their fucking record.
Yeah.
So it's like, and they gotta fucking play their instruments and fucking say the words. I'd be fucked, bro. I'm from
Yeah, no,
frame
I,
one.
I, I get pop punk bands and how weird it can be to play their songs live because the whole point of pop punk is encapsulating
Mm-hmm.
this blistering energy and just sort of putting it into this small little case defined as pop punk.
Yeah,
And when you go up on stage and just start hammering things out live, the crowd goes wild. And then what can you do, right? You just start going at it and just hope it sounds good. So
yep.
yeah.
Yeah, and like every band has different approaches. Like with Blink,
Mm-hmm.
some play their instruments super fast and can still put on a 2 to 3 hour show, but they fit in so many more songs compared to a band that play their song like Green Day, who play their songs live at the same tempo.
Uh-huh.
But they get the same reaction. And you
Mm-hmm.
have some bands that play like they're super slow. You just hold out in like their part where they can have like the fan interaction out super long,
Mm-hmm.
and they get an even bigger pop.
Like Foo Fighters.
Yeah, dude, Foo Fighters are amazing. It helps that Dave's Nirvana like that carries over to a certain extent,
Mm-hmm.
but
For sure.
they can just fucking hammer music out so good live. And if have you listened to any of his performance from like 2020 since he's been off the road?
Who, Dave?
Yeah,
I haven't really had the chance to pop in Foo Fighters recently, actually.
dude. Okay, so their latest album was all right,
Mm-hmm.
but their
Yeah.
live performances that they've been doing recently, his voice has had so much time to recover that it's not super growly and rawly like scratched.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy how this quarantine's been beneficial and unbeneficial to people.
Yeah. No, it's honestly mercurial, right?
Mhm.
Like the fact that it could ruin somebody else's life, but just sort of get somebody else on the right track. It's really kind of insane when you think about it.
Yeah, and then that person that can be put in track has the chance of helping that person that just got thrown off track to get put back on track and be an inspiration at the same time, which is the
Yeah.
coolest thing you could be told. But also, it gets to a point where is it an obsession or are you lying to me because you're meeting me and you're shocked you don't know what to say, sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
Um, God, I wish I had notes. So you say you do music, right?
Yeah.
Do you just play the guitar?
Okay, so I've kind of had a storied history with musical instruments.
Mm-hmm.
The first one I ever started playing was the guitar. I picked up my first guitar around now that I think about it, 7 years ago now. But I only really started taking it seriously since the start of high school about 3 years ago.
Mm,
And because start of high school was when A, I watched K-On, and
right.
B, I found Adam Neely.
Ooh.
And this is the weirdest story ever. So, for those of you who don't know, Adam Neely is a guy on YouTube who does music theory stuff. And he said it himself, funny jazz memes and arcane music theory. I think that's what it was. And that's what he does most. He dissects the theory behind popular songs and concepts while doing all these musical experiments and performing live gigs as a working musician in New York City. And this is where a lot of my inspiration came from because somebody like Adam Neely, who could make a living doing some of the most niche stuff imaginable in the field of music and still be able to go out at night and play these awesome rocking shows with brilliant musicians, it was just a life that I wanted to live, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Understandably so.
this brings us to K-On! And there's really nothing more to be said here other than Yui Hirasawa is a massive inspiration to how I approach music. just the way that she picks up a guitar at the beginning of the series, seemingly on a whim, and at the end of it, she is having the time of her life, right? And it's that change in her character as she progresses through the story, and how she finds something meaningful in music, right?
Right.
That's the sort of feeling I. That's the flash. That's the flash in the pan. That's the lightning in a bottle, right? And that's sort of just how what sort of galvanized me into taking my music in a direction where I want to go and sort of living this dream that I have. It sounds really cheesy now that I say it out loud, but
No.
there's definitely like a lot. There's a lot that I want to get into, and music is sort of the gateway to that right now.
Yeah, no, that's completely understandable. Honestly, I think my story with why I started instruments was on a whim. Because like fourth grade, you get to do all these band things, right?
Yeah,
Like I picked up the fucking clarinet. It was horrendous, worst time of my life. And then I went
yeah,
to like a tuba, trumpet. Then I switched schools. They had a slot for percussion. I can barely play anything, right? But I got to use the big drum. What's it called?
the bass drum, or I think that's what it's called, or like the
Or,
symphony, or
I don't know.
there's so many drums.
I got to use a bunch of percussion instruments. It's been a while, so I don't really. I like if I got a hold of a drumstick, I'm sure I could hold it properly. But like just off the top of my head, I'm not. I don't remember how to hold one properly. But like
Yeah,
that was kind of my first gateway into wanting to learn about people, which led to me finding Foo Fighters, Nirvana. Like I knew about them, but I got more engaged with their music. And
yeah,
like bands like that, where like the drummers are a freaking phenomenal. And but then, like I still want to play drums. Don't get me wrong.
yeah.
But I've also like when I was younger, my dad got me a guitar. I was like 3.
Mm.
You know. Oh, by the way, bye, Dad. Just kidding. Well, not kidding, but
Oh, oh,
in terms of context, he's not here. Bye bye.
uh,
He's not dead. Just back
oh,
in Mexico.
okay.
Yeah. Just want to get that out of the way. But no, he got me my first acoustic guitar. Cause I was young. I treated it like dog shit. I think I threw it down the stairs and broke it.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, and then I was like, I don't want to really do anything with music for like 2 or 3 years because it wasn't fun. I just wasn't seeing any progress. Then I just got indulged in watching these guitar tutorials and like all this shit. And then got to the point where I told my mom for Christmas, like, hey, I want a guitar. I got the guitar, I gotta restring it, fix the action, all that shit still.
Yeah.
But like, I got one, and then think for my birthday she got me another one, and it's crazy to think that I still don't know how to play them. Like I have an idea of like the power chords I get, and I know how to I know like a very limited amount of chords.
Uh-huh.
Like if I really wanted to, if I'm just going through a thinking process, I could get like one part of a song if like not like I could like make like a small little part of my own little song,
Yeah.
but then I won't remember it afterwards because I'm just not thinking about it and just forget it.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Yeah,
Sometimes you have these awesome flash in the pan ideas for songs, and then you put them down, and you're like, huh, well, how am I supposed to continue this?
yeah, it's that, and then it's like, wait, how did that go? And it's
Yeah,
like I would record it, but I'm not like at my amp all the time, so
yeah,
it's not like I don't have my microphone on recording while I'm jamming out and shit because I'm horrendous at playing guitar. I don't want to hear myself play it back because I'm gonna notice mistakes and say I should have played it like this. I could have held the chord better. I could have bent it. All the little niche things. But
mhm.
yeah.
I totally get that.
Let's see. Well, any
Mhm.
other fun things that you like to do?
When it comes down to like hobbies, I mean, I've talked at length about Gundam already, so
Mm-hmm.
I do enjoy gunpla kits, especially since they are super duper easy. no glue or paint required for a base build. At most, all you'll have to do is some extra panel lining, which is really fucking easy. You just take a marker, you take hell, I use the pencil and stick it in the little lines where the panels are, and
Hmm.
you fine line them. You just draw in the details, fill in the blanks,
Right.
and yeah, super easy, super fun, especially with mobile suits that you actively enjoy. Uh, my first kit was the Barbados Lupus Rex from Iron Blooded Orphans. To this day, one of my favorite mobile suits of all time. And I had such a blast with it, I decided, you know what, I'm going to make this a natural hobby. So I'm currently on the hunt for some more kits, but it's super fun. Uh, Aside from that, I don't really know if I should. I mean, in terms of sports, I do play tennis.
Interesting.
Yeah, I play tennis. I ping pong, I guess, because yeah, I'm Asian. Woohoo!
Mm,
But yeah, that's the. I suppose in terms of hobbies, I really don't have much else other than music.
hmm.
So
But I mean, then
yeah,
again, music's a huge thing to be into because there's so many different aspects you can look at it. You can dissect other people's music. You can then learn from it. There's so many things. So like
yeah,
that in and of itself is definitely huge.
definitely. Yeah, there's definitely a lot to unpack with music and everything, and just
Hmm.
same ways there is to unpack with tennis and with model making and all that.
Yeah, like I don't think I do anything that's major. Like I just feel, because like, but then again, it's like others can tell me I do things, but it's whether I accept it and run with the ball.
Yeah.
Other than
Hmm.
that, off the top of my head, I don't think I have any other questions. If and like, if you have any main points you want to talk about that you can think of, just let me know and we can go on with it, man.
Yeah. I suppose like I could levy some uh questions of my own, I guess. What kind of got you into content creation and streaming and whatnot, right?
Hmm. Oh, you're asking me?
Yeah.
Um, well, let's see. I would have been 10 at the time. Was
Hmm.
and like it was a rough time because my mom was working a part-time job at different places because dad's been gone for since I was probably like 7, and
Uh-huh.
not 10 by the I mean maybe like 11 or 12 because I just got back from living somewhere else with my mom. So we were brand new environment. It's like, hey, I can make money by doing this. I got somewhat serious because I got over 100 subscribers at one point. Then I
Yeah.
moved and lived with guardian parents. That channel got deleted. Very
Yeah.
upsetting. So
Mm.
then I come I was already streaming before. I was just streaming from my Xbox playing Grand Theft Auto because I didn't really own any games. And then I
Yeah.
guess one Christmas I get back from having guardian parents. She goes out, buys me this PC, which I'm using now,
Hmm.
and then I kind of I met a bunch of people on the way there. Hell, apparently I made so much of an impact of being in Rhyme Style Chat that he made me a VIP on
Damn.
Twitch. So that's dope. Um, Still, honestly, like my highest thing I've done on Twitch besides getting affiliated recently back in February.
Congrats.
Thanks. I did do a birthday stream. That fucking flopped harder than I thought it would. But it's okay because
Yeah.
content creation is literally just a process of trial and error and seeing what intrigues your audience, what you're happy with while pleasing them at the same time.
Uh-huh.
So I started with Dokkan. Started back up with Dokkan, excuse me. Kind of, just
Yeah.
and then kind of just fell off of it again. Came back again with Dokkan. Enjoyed it for a few months. Switched to Grand Cross. Enjoyed it. Then kind of fell off. Then I've just been doing art streams and all this.
Hmm.
But honestly, my biggest inspiration for wanting to do interview things
Yeah.
would probably be like early Gotcha Talks.
Yeah.
Because like his thing, from what I remember, besides Dokkan and all that, was interviewing people. And
Yeah.
because we have this platform of the Gong Gang, you know, and I have my own platform, I'm able to reach out to people. Like, first episode I did with Prince because that's somewhat easy to talk to. Then I did it with my friend Vamp. It's his birthday today, as time recording. Got that posted.
Yeah.
That was great. Easy done. So, and then I don't really know you that well, and I don't think you know me well. So I wanted to give myself a challenge and talk to someone new.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like
Yeah, I get that.
eventually, I'd hope to be able to talk to someone bigger, like Truth, or someone like this. But at the same time, that's kind of scary to think about.
Yeah. For real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna end up cutting this into 2 parts. I can guarantee you this though, because one part's gonna be your section, and then yeah, but that's not hard to do.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Because if not, I'll just leave it. It's one big video. So we're only at 30 minutes.
I suppose like one thing that I am curious about is do you have any other like any other forms of fiction that you enjoy? Any characters that you're really into?
I'm
Like
into Patrick, if you can't tell.
yeah, Patrick.
Is mayonnaise an instrument? So let's see, Dragon Ball, DXD, Opie.
Oh yeah.
In I enjoy little things too, but there's like the big three things I mostly. Well, actually no, I enjoy wrestling more than I do DXD. And not amateur, not quote unquote amateur, but like sports entertainment wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fake and all this, but it's also not fake. They plan the stunts. Yes, it's all planned, but they do the stunts like a stunt, but double without having an actor to portray. They're their own characters. They do all these things. Sure, they have safe ways of doing it, but do you want to actually get a fist in your face, break your fucking cheekbones and your eye bone thingies a million times? No.
Of course. Hmm. Yeah, no. Like I know a lot of people that are like into wrestling and all that stuff. And wrestling is, I don't know. I was never too big into wrestling. Like I knew the key figures, right?
Mm-hmm. Your
Like
Rocks,
I think
Austins, yeah.
The Rock, John Cena. I mean, who
My
doesn't?
follower, by the way. Just gotta flex that real quick.
God damn, bro. The influence.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Like Rey Mysterio. So I think his name Rey Mysterio.
Yeah,
I think that.
and it's definitely helped because he stepped away from WWE, and then he was like in other promotions, so that opened up their promotions to a bigger audience. And like with Chris Jericho, he went to AEW, opened that umbrella along with the Bucks, Omega, and Rhodes. But he also went to New Japan, which also opened up the thought of having AEW. Sorry, my bad. I'm gonna have to do an interview or just a discussion of wrestling with myself.
Damn, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. There's definitely like a huge wide world of wrestling, and I would not be opposed to getting into it at some point. Because it's not just about like being. It's not just about like just watching a wrestling match, right? Because it's far from legitimate sports. It's about the spectacle. It's about the characters and how each hit is like etching in another event, another footnote into their characters and whatnot, right? So there's definitely there's a draw there, and there's an
Mm-hmm.
art to professional wrestling. So there's a lot to see there.
Right. Yeah. Definitely. And you can enjoy it or not, but that's literally with everything. Some people like this band. It's like, and like how people have characters on wrestling. I feel like some musicians definitely have characters they put on live.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, and so it's like
Mm-hmm.
I'm like one of the weird people who like if I'm in a situation, I can put it into a basic outline of a wrestling match entirely. So hear me out. You wake up, and then
Uh-huh.
you get dressed, walk out the door for work. That's the beginning of your entrance. Your drive to work is the rest of your entrance. You sit in your cubicle. If you sit down for a cubicle, that's you resting, waiting for your opponent, being whatever. And then you finish your workday. That's your entire match. Then you head back up the ramp, which would be going home. Then you go to the locker room, which would be your house. You eat, and then you go to sleep, ending your entire day. And it's like stupid things like that I can do, but like I'm not smart in school. Like, but anywhere else, apparently I have a huge brain.
Damn, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's actually pretty cool. Like, that's a really interesting way of thinking about it, about things.
Yeah.
It's a lot better than just going through the day to day, right? Just going through the motions gets really fucking boring.
Right, and
So
you gotta
if you
think
find a
about
way to
other
spice
ways.
things up,
Yeah.
find a way to spice things up. That's where the real fun begins.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have any questions for me, I don't have any more for you.
I don't know. We could talk about Angra.
I know nothing. And we're at like 35 minutes. We can do that afterwards, though, if you want to. Because I plan on
But
doing this stream.
I feel like it's content saved for another day.
True.
Yeah.
Tell the people where they can find you on social media.
Yeah. You can find me on Twitter at Healthcare.gov. Technically, it's Healthcare.g1 because they couldn't fit all that into a Twitter username. So,
Pepe Hands.
yeah, at Healthcare.g1. Oh, and you can find me there on Twitter. I'm also on Instagram, Healthcare.gov. That's all of my face is on Instagram, so be warned, you might get more than you bargained for. You can find I'm on Discord as well, but you can't spell my name.
You
It
gotta
is
copy and paste that bitch.
yeah, Ultra not Meme Lord 2352. Yeah, so I don't know, we'll leave it somewhere. We'll leave it somewhere and leave that up to you.
I can copy and paste that shit in the description.
And lastly, I occasionally shit post or FGO post on my YouTube channel. I might expect some serious content in the future, maybe some music things, maybe some analysis things. We'll get around to that when we get around to that. But
Yes,
you can find me on YouTube at healthcare.gov, all one word. And yeah, that's basically the extent of where all the good people of the internet can engage with myself.
that's pretty cool, man. And of course, mine's the regular old regular. Twitter.com/Zertz_Eric. Twitch.tv /Zertz_EricGC. Instagram. I mean, if you find it, congrats. It's not hard. I'm not gonna tell you though.
Oh, yo.
I mean, it's honestly just simple to find. Anyways, thank you for watching. I'm sure no one made it through this part of the interview because no one watches more than the first minute. It's scientifically proven. But hey, if you're a true fan, they appreciate you.
Yes,
That's
sir.
us signing off. Peace.